Welcome back to wrestling with ski. Sorry, battled through that one. Maybe it's the COVID talking. Not sure, but I thought it was kind of a mediocre, set of shows. Now, I'm not saying it was all bad this past Friday between Smackdown and Rampage, because I mean there was some good stuff in there, but there was just a lot of like, what was the point in it stuff to me. I know I say that a lot. Hate me all you want. Um, it just, I don't know. There was some stuff that even Hannah looked up one that actually looks like it hurts, which is a good thing. I mean, she was like looked up enough to go, ooh. And again, she was only watching it because she got COVID from a coworker. She tested positive the other day. I didn't. She was exposed before me. So I'm sure my day is coming. It felt a little weird last couple of days, but she was forced to be there, and watch it. Um, and there was some good. I mean, anything that gets her looking up while she's watching, she normally doesn't like at all. I consider it to be a good thing, and that stuff does help make up for all the stupid. But again, there's a lot of it. I mean, you guys can, like I always say, come on here and argue it with me. I'm always willing to talk to people and do that kind of thing. You hear me, Justin and Dan, we disagree sometimes, that's what happens. Like, not everyone agrees about everything, but I'm willing to talk to anyone about everything. As long as you want to have a good conversation, no matter what part of the world you're in. I notice all of you out there in all the different, countries. So whether you're in Ireland, Singapore, Australia, Philippines, and many other countries, I do see you. So hopefully you guys have different opinions than me on SmackDown. But I mean, starts out with the Usos in the ring talking up, and I really don't know why they have Jay talk ever when Jimmy's there. I mean, he wasn't as bad this time, but Jimmy's still far superior on the microphone. Now, making life choices, not necessarily the best at that, but he is better on the microphone. And they introduced everyone that was in the Fatal Four Way to determine the number one contender for the tag titles. And I mean, just by them announcing the teams, you knew there was only two that had a snowflake's chance. So, that kind of took a lot of it away. A lot of the epicness, awesomeness. I mean, it was still like a good match, but when they announced Cesaro and Mansoor, we know they're not winning. Jinder and Shanky, we knew they weren't winning. And then the Viking Raiders ended up picking up the win by pinning Los Lotharios, which was, the only other like actual team that you thought would have a chance after they did try to give them a little bit of build when they first got there, but now they're taking the L against a lot of people. So I just find it weird, though, again, that they had the Viking Raiders who've been losing to everyone and all that, pin the only other real team in the match. That was a weird part to me. But again, it's good to see the Viking Raiders get some. Maybe, I mean, I don't see them winning, but I mean, them having to throw Mansoor and Cesaro together shows the current state of the tag division on SmackDown. So, they could always do better with that. But yeah, good match. We'll see what the Raiders end up, how good the match is and how they tell the story and all that, and if they stick around after that, because it could be, hey, what? Congratulations, title shot, you're fired. It could be something like that. But again, big moral of the story, I just found it weird that they had the only other tag team and one that they put a little build into, being Los Lotharios, be the ones to pick up the pinfall. But as things happen, the Naomi and Sonya epic at this point, it's old now. And having Sonya take off her jacket later in the night, and conveniently Naomi happens to be right there to walk in the room, whatever. Pierce gets in between them. And at least the good thing is we get to see Naomi versus Charlotte next week in another contenders match. God knows what kind of stupid's going to be involved in all that. I'm sure there's going to be something stupid. Or Naomi's going to win, and then she's going to end up, Sonya's going to get involved at the Rumble, and that'll set them up for something later on, WrestleMania or something, for Sonya to make her in-ring comeback. I don't know, but I'm over it at this point. Like really just do it already and get it. Again, we always complain. You always hear all three of us, long story builds. But I mean, this one, like it's just, I don't know. There's just something about this story that I never was like intrigued about. And maybe it's just the fact it's really just the same thing over and over. So there's not really any new wrinkles to it. Good storytelling, long drawn ones, you could tell a little wrinkle here and there. Like it's just the same thing over and over for this many months. That's probably why I'm over it. But, we'll see where it goes from there. Sammy doing that insane thing, the shopping cart, whatever, like all the idiocy involved in the whole thing. Moral of the story, at least, Shinsuke Nakamura and a freshly, maned, Rick Boogs with his haircut, saving the segment at the end. Aaliyah picked up the quickest victory in WWE history over Natty in 3.17 seconds. After Natty pummeled her before the match, I will say that the ref saying she can't compete and them announcing it and then immediately saying she can right after, that was dumb. And Natty, with all the Guinness World Record thing that they're having her do now, I don't know if that was a her thing, a Vince thing, and I don't know. But like congratulations, you have records, but that's because you've been there forever and your career has been prolific. Like Nikki ASH in a short amount of time got the Raw Women's title. I mean, no offense to Natty. I mean, she was a Divas champ way back when, and a women's tag champ just to have, her and Tamina have a moment at Mania. But otherwise, what have you really done except train all the people that keep getting title shots, like being right there with them to be she was the one that tests everybody. Let's just go, with that, just like she tested Charlotte down in NXT. She's really good. I mean, but she hasn't had that big of a career. So the Guinness World Records, which I also was like, every time whenever I go to a store, I only see it every couple months. I'm like, oh, that thing's still real. I didn't even know the Guinness book was still going, but that whole thing's just dumb to me. It'd be good to see her get a real title run, but she never will. It was good to see Aaliyah get that after everything, but that whole thing was dumb. Lita comes back, says she has one more run left in her, which, well, we all know she's not going to get a title shot, but it was nice to see her come back and hit a twist of fate on Charlotte and whatever the hell she was wearing. And that's all I got to describe on that. That was just weird, but it'll be good to see her in the Rumble. We'll all agree with that. It'll be good to see Lita back doing something, even if it is a one-off, but I don't see it like one more run. I just don't see them doing it. I don't see her doing it. I could be wrong, but her going all the way back to Mania, and getting a title shot, I just don't see it being the thing, for a one-off. I could be wrong, but her coming back for all that just to lose just make no sense to me. Sheamus defeated Ricochet, and again, it was a good match, but Sheamus hits a brogue when he's flipping all over the place. We've seen it before. Madcap Moss with Happy Corbin defeated Kofi in a quick, stupid one, which I feel bad for Kofi. It doesn't show any good signs for that, for him and all that, to be losing like that to him. And Seth and Roman's face off, that was a good segment. One I think spectacular, but that was one of the highlights those two times, just because all their history and, Roman taking digs if you wanted to have, big, main event superstar, whatever, from Raw, called Seth's wife Becky. That was a good little line there, but, the Usos get involved. Seth fights him off and scoots out the ring before they come back. I'm just still on the, how bad is the picture? How bad is it when they move Seth over to Raw in the draft? He's doing all that stuff to try to get the title, and then they send him over to SmackDown. How bad is, the roster over there when they have to steal a guy from Raw to come over to face Roman on SmackDown for the title after they had Brock go over, some kind of trade, you're going here, you're going there. But we know they try to keep, couples on the same show. So we already know what's going to happen just because Becky's over on Raw. They're going to keep them together. So, that's just, I don't know. Wasn't really the greatest show to me. It was good to see them do that. It's going to be a hell of a match. We all know that. Seth puts on good matches. Roman does his thing. which has been better since he took over, since this new, tribal chief thing started. So I'm not against that. It could be the COVID talking too. I don't know. Head was all when I watched it, but I thought it could have been a lot better. Again, like we all knew it was going to happen with Sheamus and Ricochet. Kofi got squashed. Lita was back. That was good. I mean, Aaliyah defeated Natty. I mean, the whooping before the match was longer than that. Insane thing was stupid. Naomi and Sonya, stupid. Pretty much, I mean, there's only two options in a fatal four-way that we knew had a chance to win. And the one pinned the other, like it just wasn't that big of a thing. So, I don't know. This is my personal opinion. Hate me all you want. I just, there were some highlights, but mostly it was just going through the motions, it felt like to me. I'm not trying to take jabs at them. I mean, they're doing their job. They're doing what they can with the time allotted. I just don't like hearing, fatal four ways, getting announced and, in the tag division, and you already know half the team isn't going to win. Like when they do big match, you're like, okay, they're not getting it. They're not getting it. Okay, it's between these two. Like I just, build up everyone like you used to make everyone like in the Attitude Era, and everyone legitimately felt like they could actually have a chance at winning. Like there was nothing wrong with that. I thought that was a good thing. You believed everyone when they got title reigns out of nowhere because everyone was there everywhere. And that's how they built the stories and built them without actually having to tell any stories really a lot of the time. So everyone was legitimate. It's just a damn shame that that's the way it is. And that's where the roster is, where they're throwing people together like that. But here's what it is, I do suppose. And we'll see what happens with Ali asking for his release. Remember, he was on that big run before he got hurt, and Kofi Mania took over and started because of his injury. And I didn't like the retribution thing. I thought that was stupid. And apparently everyone else did too, because look how quick it was gone. They're super talented. And if he had an idea, I mean, if they let Nikki do the almost a superhero thing, why can't they just take a shot and let Ali, if you want to do it, like I heard, just read the thing, like you want to do some political thing, and then Vince, said, how about you do this, which is completely different than what he wanted to do. I mean, like if someone comes to you and says, I want to try this, let him. I mean, you're doing Gacy, was doing the whole thing down there with everybody, a safe place and Snowflake. Like he's just, doing that whole thing down there. That has a lot of politics based in it. Let Ali do his thing. I mean, I don't know, depending on what it actually was, but we'll see what comes of that. Which brings us on to Rampage. And I will say that Adam Cole and Trent Beretta had a great match going. It was a good one. But with the Young Bucks, Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, Brandon Cutler, Britt Baker, Orange Cassidy, Wheeler Yuta, Chuck Taylor, and Chris Statlander at ringside, we all knew all hell was going to break loose. And all hell did break loose. And while the ref's distracted, Adam Cole hits low blow on Beretta, set up, the final shot, whatever the hell, finish it, get the win. So that's not over. It was a great match. Like I thought they were putting together a really good match until the stupid happened. But again, there's that many people at ringside, something stupid's going to happen. Like, something stupid was going to happen. But I will say the match beforehand was actually pretty good. Like I did enjoy what they had going. A lot of good, a lot of good stuff in there. And Hannah didn't completely hate it. So Shelly was a good match. She was sitting there watching it. She looked at it more and she looked at her phone. And I didn't even ask her to watch it. She just happened to look up and start watching it. So it was a good match. And again, there's so many people involved. There's so many groups that, all that has to happen no matter what. So, I'm not even bashing them for that. We all knew it was going to happen. It was a good match before it happened. Cole did the heel thing to get the win. It's everything you need it to be. So I'm not bashing it for that. It's actually pretty good until then. So kudos to that. I'm waiting to see what they do with that when, what they're going to do between the Young Bucks and Fish and O'Reilly and how they're going to do all that with Adam, because they're still playing it all. So, mentioning it all the time, waiting to see what they do with it. That'll be a good, I think it'll be a hell of a match, but I think they're waiting until Kenny's back. So they can do it that way. It just makes more sense that way, but we'll see. Sean Spears with Wardlow defeated Andrew Everett, just a dumb one. We all sadly know that Punk's going to beat him next week. I mean, it's sadly, but we all know it's going to happen. So, yeah, I mean, it was nice to see him in the ring again. I haven't seen him in the ring since he was like, at least I can remember, since he was like Ty Dillinger, which that gimmick was weird anyway. Now he really, he's just a henchman and a lackey, and you never see him do anything. They talked more about Wardlow and the whole situation with him in the Pinnacle. So we'll see what they're going to do with all of it, but that was pointless and dumb. The Acclaimed in the rap video about Sting and Darby. We all know Sting and Darby are going to end up winning when they get in the ring anyway. And there's actually some good lines in the rap. Don't get me wrong. There's actually, if you listen to it, there's actually some good lines in there, but not my cup of tea. I was looking for wrestling. Penelope Ford, the Bunny, and Nyla Rose, with Vicky, of course, defeat Chris Statlander, Layla Hirsch, and Red Velvet. And as we all expected from Wednesday night, Chris Statlander and Layla Hirsch not seeing eye to eye. They're not together the whole entire thing, tagging each other and doing all themselves and doing all kinds of dumb stuff, which we all knew was going to come, sadly. Penelope back in her black and orange ring gear, so it's good to see, just different than the all black thing. And that submission that Statlander had on Penelope, that Hannah even looked up and said, "Oh my God, that looks like it actually hurts her neck. It's not supposed to bend that way." So that's a good thing. You get the non-wrestling fan looking up going, "Damn, like that's a good thing." So I can't complain about that. Like, it got her attention. That's what you're looking for. So that was a good thing to see. But, the heels have to prevail, with all the idiocy involved. We know that Statlander and Layla are going to go at it. It's going to be a thing sooner or later. Then we'll see if Chris and Britt end up going at it in the long run, because of them having those two going at it earlier in the ringside area, between the two teams and all that, and her getting out of space last week. So, the other day. So that could be an actual really good thing. I don't think they're going to have Chris Statlander win if she fought Britt, but I think it'd be a good match. And I know Dan loves her. So that'll be, a good thing, but we'll see what happens with it. Jay Lethal challenges Ricky Starks for the FTW title. Like, I think that could be a great thing. Hearing, Ricky Starks talk it up, like all Team Taz, just talk it up. Like, I'm just excited to see Jay Lethal there, just because he was never really like on a company that had like, and I'm not saying AEW has the biggest following ever, but like got the TV time, and good for Jay. Like, that's something he hasn't had a lot of. No offense to any of the companies he's been with, like they haven't been on, a USA, a Fox, a TNT, a TBS, like they haven't been on any of those. So it's good to see him have the thing, have that spot. And, excited to see what he does with Ricky Starks. I think he's better than him, but I mean, can we say he's going to win? No. But what, should it be a good match? Yeah. And again, just finding a way to use him is good, because, there's a lot of guys and most of them are just thrown into groups, and that's how they use them. Like at the Dark Order, the Best Friends, whatever the hell you want to call the Young Bucks, O'Reilly, Fish, like that whole entire thing. Like, there's lots and lots, the Hardy Family Office, see, lots of groups. And it's just good to see, him out there and just doing that. I mean, there's with Team Taz, against Team Taz, but at least, he's doing something. He's on his own. He didn't just get thrown into another group. Just kind of stand there and be, there. Will it stay that way? Who knows? But is it good to see that? Yeah, I'm excited about that. I think it'll be a good match whenever it happens. So, one company's losses, another going there. I think he's would do better there than he ever would in the Machine. I don't think he'd ever go to the Machine. I don't think they'd ever take him. So, we'll see where they go with it, but it should be a good match again. And it showed up Ricky Starks, which is good, at least to me, and set up to go to the main event. Sorry, Mark, I suck at that, but Jurassic Express, I can read today, defeating the Dark Order's John Silver and Alex Reynolds, and successfully defending their AEW tag team titles for the first time. And Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy had Christian Cage in their corner, and John Silver and Alex Reynolds had Evil Uno and Anna Jay. I'd say it was a hell of a match. I'd say Rampage actually put together a less wasteful show than Smackdown was. In my opinion, you can tell me I'm wrong. I just thought, the main event and the Cole match, like that was good until stupid happened. Again, no one can say it wasn't good until stupid happened. So great main event though. They put it together. Great way to have your first title defense. And I think they could put on great matches with all kinds of people as long as they keep defending them. And I think that'd be really, really good, having them keep defending them. There's a lot of people. There's so many groups. There's so many teams that come out of so many groups to keep, challenging for the tag titles. So I like it. I dig it. I thought, I think it could be them as the tag champs would be really, really good. They could work with a lot of people. And the Lucha Bros, they'll be back, and they could work with a lot of people too. I'm not taking that away. We saw what they could do, but it's good to see Jurassic Express having the crowd digs it. And it was a good match. And again, I like John Silver out of the Dark Order. I think he's got some of the best talent that they have in the whole entire group. To me, and again, you can tell me I'm wrong. I'll even have a conversation with you about it. But I think that they're good. So overall, I'd say for the night, because of all the stuff on SmackDown, that was just like, and again, Sheamus and Ricochet wasn't like even a bad match, but we all knew what was getting, we all knew the Brogue was coming when they started. Like, it's just, and again, Naomi and Sonya, done. Fatal 4-way tag match. We all knew two teams weren't going to win, which takes a lot of it away. Sammy stuff was dumb. Aaliyah and Natty, quick and dumb. Madcap beating, Kofi, that quick, dumb. Like, there's just so much dumb in there that it made the overall night mostly mediocre. And again, Spears defeating Andrew Everett, dumb. The Acclaim rap video, waste of time. There was some good stuff in the, women's trios match. Not taking that away from it. But, sorry, like those, you can't make up for it. Like, for all the dumb that was on one of them, it doesn't overall for the night can crush the whole entire night. It did end on a better note, in my opinion, again, because the Cole and Beretta match was good. The women's trios, that wasn't the worst thing you've ever seen. Like, there was actually a lot of competence involved in that. They didn't try to go, do anything too much, which was good. Main event, good. It was just SmackDown just buried it before this, or at least it wasn't like SmackDown was really good and then Rampage ended the night on a bad note. But, supposed to be the COVID talking. I don't know. But again, overall, Rampage saved the night to me, just because there was so much time wasted by the machine. But again, look at the rosters. They have to be bad. If Cesaro and Mansoor are again thrown together as a tag team suddenly, just so they could have 4 teams for a fatal 4-way tag match for the number 1 contenders. Like, that's just not good. Well, that being said, I'm going to take my COVID self out. Sorry if I seemed a little extra monotone and off today. Really, I feel good. It's just voice is gone a little. And today the stomach sucks, but otherwise, still got a workout in. Still did this. A little extra worn out than normal, but got it done. And I appreciate you guys checking me out. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and repeat. Especially if you're listening on the audio, share that out to people to get more ears on it. And that way I can keep track of all of you people, again, in 10 different countries. My brain wasn't so clouded. I remember all of you, but I appreciate all of you. Again, like, share, comment, repeat audio files that are on the Facebook page, video, whatever. But share is the most important one, especially the audio, regardless of money flow or anything, the sponsor, Anchor. I can keep track of all the people that actually see it that way. So I appreciate y'all. Hopefully y'all had a very good weekend. Hopefully you're not a, fan of some of those football teams that played because they sucked. Made the weekend even weirder, but we'll be back on Thursday to talk about Raw 2.0 and Dynamite. So don't forget to check me out then, set everything, follow along on the listening platforms so that way you get notified the second it comes through. And if you don't get notified, just know Monday and Thursday we do these shows. I appreciate y'all. Thanks for checking it out. Enjoy the rest of your day. And until Thursday, my friends, be safe, be healthy, and peace.